There is a sense of wonder about the redevelopment of the Battersea Power Station. Wonder not just in terms of the money involved, £400 million to buy the site, £1 billion worth of equity being pumped in by the new Malaysian owners, but wonder that is actually happening at all. 20 years ago, I used to live just round the corner, and every day I'd cycle past this beautiful crumbling masterpiece on my way into work. And yet since then, nothing has happened. At one point, it was going to become luxury flats. At another point, a football stadium. It was even going to become a theme park. Development has started on the site, finally. After a series of false starts, a Malaysian consortium led by SP Setia, one of the country's largest developers and comprising Sim Darby, one of the world's largest operators of palm oil plantations, and the Employees Provident Fund, Malaysia's largest pension fund by assets, has snapped up the buildings and 39-acre riverside site. But it has been a long time coming. Battersea's history is littered with false starts. The theme park was mooted in 1987, before the company behind it went bust. And then a further £4 billion development plan that also failed to make it off the drawing board. The new owners, though, are nothing if not ambitious. The entire space envisages 3,444 new homes, alongside offices and shops. The £400 million purchase price could see the entire site worth as much as £8 billion by the time the development is finished in 2024.
Fundamentally, the change now is that we have planning consent. We are implementing that planning consent. We've got a great public transport solution, and we're no longer an isolated site. We are the cornerstone of a 22 million square foot project, the whole of Nine Elms, which is the largest regeneration project in the whole of Europe. The
flats have been selling well. Phase 1, which began in January last year, saw the release of 866 flats onto the market, most of which have been sold, a spokesman said, bar 6 or so penthouses.
The idea is to convert the building into a real mixed use in the noble sense of the terms. I mean, the office element is in the region of 5,000 people are going to work in this building, so it's an element which is essential. It has been part of the negotiation with Wandsworth and English Heritage, and part of the negotiation to get the extension and the tube line here was the fact that there will be a big commercial element, a lot of people working here, so it's essential. So I think it's very important to say that, because it's a long-term investment. In other words, it's not short-term sales of residential property, it's about making the mark and saying you can have a major office component in this part of town, which is a challenge already because it's not the usual part, which means also that we need to look at offices in a different way. The office element is in the region of 5,000 people are going to work in this building, so it's an element which is essential.
But while the project's website offers a grand vision of cafes, galleries, hotels and flats, all set in 18 acres of open space, what will be the impact on the local economy? The creation of another high street, led by Lords Gary and Foster, that will encompass the new Northern Line tube extension, is an integral part of the new scheme. But is this likely to be welcomed by existing retailers, many of whom are already under threat from the rise of online sales?
Well, competition's good, isn't it?
And sometimes it's bad.
Well, no, I'm not sure that that's always true. I mean, take Clapham Junction as an example, where there is extraordinarily different and vibrant Northcote Road adjoining a traditional town centre, and the traditional town centre sort of feeds off the Northcote Road success. So there is a kind of mix and match in this. So there is innovation in competition.
The plan is to create 3.5 million square feet of commercial space, of which 1.6 million will be offices and 1.15 million will be given over to retailers. The key, though, is to make sure that the shops are distinct enough from the existing retailers in the borough.
It'll be a far, far different town centre than from our existing town centres, or indeed ones on north of the river. So it'll be a very different attraction, and therefore the shopping offer will be different.
But some shop owners are concerned.
Yes, it will be competition to some extent, purely because they're going to have brand new development and there will be lots of shops and all of that, and they're not far from us. There are possibilities of losing business, yes.
And others we spoke to at Clapham Junction, who weren't willing to be filmed, said they felt the regeneration plans would either be beneficial or neutral to their business. But not everyone is convinced.
Well, we've got West Side in Wandsworth Town Centre, which is about 2 miles away, 3 miles away. and we've got the West End quite nearby, so I don't think a big shopping centre is actually all that vital. No, in fact, no, it's not needed at all.
Opinion may be divided over the impact of millions of square foot of commercial space, but ultimately the redevelopment of this magnificent wreck means the Battersea Power Station will finally be reborn. This is Hugo Greenhalgh for the Financial Times.